In our last episode, we explored one of Europe's most fascinating occult mysteries, the Esoteric Triangle, a network of cities connected not by politics or geography, but by centuries of legends, esoteric traditions, and claims of hidden power. According to occult lore, Europe contains not one triangle, but two. One associated with enlightenment, wisdom, and spiritual transformation, the other associated with curses, forbidden knowledge, and darker forces. And at the center of both sits one city, Torino, a place some researchers have called the occult capital of Europe. But what exactly do these terms mean? What is white magic? What is black magic? Were people really attempting to communicate with angels? Did others believe they could command spirits? And why have these beliefs survived for centuries? Tonight, we're going deeper into the white magic triangle and the black magic triangle of Europe. Not as fantasy, but as history, folklore, and the strange beliefs that shaped some of Europe's most mysterious cities. I'm Ashley, and this is Unsettling Stories. The most commonly accepted version of the legend identifies white magic triangle as London, Torino, and Prague, and the black magic triangle as Torino, Lyon, and San Sebastian. Torino appears in both, and that detail is where the mystery begins. Some esoteric traditions describe Torino as a point of balance, a city positioned between opposing spiritual forces, a crossroads where light and darkness intersect. Whether symbolic or literal, that belief transformed Torino into one of the most important locations in modern occult lore. When people hear the term white magic, they often imagine fantasy wizards casting spells. Historically, the reality was far more complicated. White magic generally referred to practices believed to be beneficial, healing, protection, divine communication, spiritual enlightenment. Many practitioners didn't even consider themselves magicians. They saw themselves as philosophers, mystics, or even scholars. Their goal wasn't to control supernatural forces. It was to understand the hidden structure of reality. To them, the universe was a vast puzzle, and symbols, prayers, mathematics, astrology, and ritual were all pieces of that puzzle. One of the most fascinating aspects of white magic involved attempts to establish contact with divine intelligences such as angels. Many Renaissance occultists believed the universe was arranged in a hierarchy. God at the top, angels below, humanity beneath them. The belief was that angels could act as intermediaries between mankind and divine truth. Some traditions taught that every person possessed a spiritual guide, often referred to as a holy guardian angel. Practitioners devoted years to seeking this connection. Historical accounts describe periods of intense prayer, meditation, fasting, study, and ritual purification. The object wasn't worldly power, it was enlightenment. The hope was that divine wisdom might reveal a person's true purpose. To modern observers, these ceremonies appear mystical. To practitioners, they were sacred acts. Many ceremonial magicians believed that certain names possessed spiritual significance. Ancient languages such as Hebrew, Greek, and Latin were considered particularly powerful. Ceremonies often involved reciting prayers, sacred texts, or invocations intended to invite divine presence. Participants frequently created ritual spaces designed to symbolize cosmic order. Candles represented celestial light. Geometric shapes reflected harmony. Protective circles symbolized spiritual boundaries. Importantly, these rituals were not viewed as commands. The practitioner was not ordering angels to appear. Rather, they were attempting to align themselves with divine forces through prayer and symbolic action, at least in theory. White magic also extended into physical objects. Across Europe, people carried charms, amulets, and talismans believed to offer protection. Some contained religious verses. Others featured astrological symbols. Many were created according to precise celestial timings. For example, an object intended to symbolize prosperity might be crafted during a period associated with Jupiter. One intended for vitality might correspond to the sun. The belief was that the heavens influenced earthly events. By creating an object at the proper moment, a practitioner could capture favorable influences. Whether effective or not, these objects reveal something important. Human beings have always searched for ways to feel protected against uncertainty. Few cities developed a stronger reputation for occult knowledge than Prague. During the reign of Rudolf II in the late 16th century, Prague became a gathering place for alchemists, astrologers, mystics, and scholars. Rudolf's court attracted some of the most unusual minds in Europe. Legends tell of secret laboratories hidden throughout the city, experiments searching for immortality, the Philosopher's Stone, the transmutation of base metals into gold. Whether these goals were ever achieved is doubtful, but the city's reputation was firmly established. Prague became a symbol of hidden wisdom, a place where forbidden questions could be asked. If Prague represented hidden wisdom, Torino represented mystery. For generations, occult researchers have pointed to the city's unusual symbolism, its architecture, monuments, its history. Many theories focus on Torino's connections to ancient Egyptian traditions and the worship of Isis. Others highlight the strange alignment of churches and monuments throughout the city. Most significant is the city's dual reputation. Torino is associated with both sacred relics and darker legends. It is home to the famous Shroud of Torino. Yet it also appears in countless stories involving secret societies and occult practices. To believers in the esoteric triangle, this dual nature is precisely why Torino belongs in both triangles. It stands between worlds. If white magic sought wisdom and protection, black magic was believed to pursue influence, control power, or in some cases, harm. Historically, the distinction wasn't always clear. In many cases, the same ritual could be labeled white or black depending on who was judging it. Religious authorities often viewed any attempt to manipulate spiritual forces with suspicion. And accusations of black magic became common throughout Europe. Many innocent people suffered because of those accusations. Yet fear of dark sorcery persisted, because people genuinely believed unseen forces could affect their lives. One of the oldest fears in human history is the curse. Across Europe, archaeologists have uncovered strange objects hidden inside walls, beneath floors, and within chimneys. Items deliberately concealed centuries ago. Some contained written names. Others contained bent nails, animal remains, bundles of hair, or symbolic objects believed to trap harmful influences. People feared curses, but they also feared becoming victims of them. Entire industries emerged around protection from malevolent magic. The fear itself became a powerful force, whether the magic existed or not. Among the most feared forms of medieval magic was necromancy. Today, the word often brings to mind fantasy stories involving armies of the undead. Historically, it meant something different. Practitioners believed the dead possessed knowledge unavailable to the living, like lost secrets, future events, hidden treasures, and answers to impossible questions. The goal was not resurrection, it was information. Church authorities condemned such practices, not because they believed corpses would rise from graves, but they feared deceptive spirits could masquerade as the dead. Many medieval texts repeat the same warning. The danger wasn't the person you hoped to contact. The danger was whatever answered instead. The medieval world produced numerous grimoires, books of ritual knowledge, some focused on prayer, others on astrology. Others described ceremonies involving spiritual beings. Many were attributed to ancient figures such as King Solomon, though historians generally agree that they were written much later. These books often contain sacred names, planetary correspondences, protective symbols, ritual prayers, complex diagrams. To believers, they were keys to hidden wisdom. To skeptics, they were elaborate collections of folklore. Either way, they profoundly influenced Western occult traditions. One of the clearest distinctions in historical magical traditions involved the type of beings practitioners sought to contact. Those associated with white magic generally focused on angels and divine intermediaries. Purification and prayer played central roles. The goal was wisdom, guidance, spiritual growth. Meanwhile, traditions associated with darker magic often focused on gaining hidden knowledge or influence through contact with spirits believed to exist outside of divine authority. Many occult texts warned repeatedly that such entities could be deceptive, offering answers while concealing dangerous consequences. This warning appears again and again throughout European folklore. The seeker gains knowledge, but loses something in return. The city of Lyon occupies a mysterious place in the legend of the Black Magic Triangle. Historically, Lyon was a crossroads of trade, religion, and culture. As with many important cities, stories accumulated over centuries. Whispers of secret gatherings, hidden societies, forbidden teachings. Evidence remains elusive, yet legends have a remarkable tendency to survive, especially when they involve places already steeped in mystery. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of the Esoteric Triangle isn't magic at all. It's geometry. The triangle has appeared throughout human history. In religion, alchemy, mysticism, philosophy, secret societies, 3 points create stability, balance, completion. Some esoteric traditions believe geometric patterns influence spiritual energy. Others argue geometry simply provides a symbolic framework for understanding reality. Regardless of interpretation, the triangle remains one of humanity's most enduring symbols. Some historians argue the esoteric triangle is a modern construction, a legend woven together from centuries of folklore and occult writings. Others believe the connections run much deeper, that generations of mystics, alchemists, and secret societies deliberately concentrated their efforts in these cities, perhaps creating a psychic geography that still influences people today. There is no definitive evidence, only stories, symbols, and questions. Perhaps the most unsettling realization is that white magic and black magic were never truly opposites. Both emerged from the same human desire, the desire to understand what lies beyond the veil, to influence fate, to glimpse hidden truths. The difference was often intention, sometimes belief, and sometimes simply perspective. Throughout history, one person's sacred ritual has often been another person's dark sorcery, and that ambiguity may be the true mystery behind the esoteric triangle. Not whether the magic was real, but why humanity has spent centuries searching for it. Because if enough people believe a place holds power, doesn't that place eventually become powerful? And maybe that's why these cities remain linked. Generations of seekers chasing the same impossible question. What exists just beyond the edge of the known world?